Welcome to Cam Look, your bi-weekly bit of the Cincinnati Art Museum. Each Tuesday and Thursday, a staff member or volunteer will present an object from the museum's permanent collection and pose questions for discussion. Please check back at 10 a.m. on those days for a new work and a new conversation. Hi, I'm Susan, a docent at the museum, and today I'd like to share Paul Porfiroff's copy of Ilya Repin's Reply of the Zaporozhian Cossacks. What Leo Tolstoy was to literature, Ilya Repin was to painting. He played a significant role in raising the awareness of Russian art in Europe. Born into a peasant family in what is modern-day Ukraine, he trained originally to paint icons. His art was not only beautifully representational of the ordinary, but exceptionally sensitive to human emotion. Many works contain subtle social commentary critical of imperial Russia, but he by no means championed the socialist state that followed it. Look for this work in the right-hand corner of the lobby area. It's a history painting, so a little history to begin. Cossacks were groups of semi-independent, self-governing peoples that lived in what is today southern Russia and Ukraine. I say semi-independent because they lived on land claimed by different kings at different times. They were given a lot of autonomy in return for their military service guarding these kingdoms' borders. Ask yourself, would you want to try and rule these guys? The Zaporozhian Cossacks were located primarily west of the Dnieper River in what is now Ukraine. As the tale goes, they had a jolly time writing a reply to the Turkish Sultan Mehmed IV's demand that they surrender. The Cossacks had just defeated his troops in a major battle. The facts are a little sketchy, but like all good stories, it's been repeated often enough that it has become legend. The painting is much loved for the virtues of fierce independence and indomitable spirit that the Cossacks have come to represent. The original hangs in St. Petersburg, Russia. A second painting, never completed, is in Kharkiv, Ukraine. Let's take a closer look at the unruly cast of characters depicted. The jolly man in red isn't Saint Nick, but rather Taras Bulba, the lead character of a historic novella. Taras and his son's adventures include this wild incident. The Cossack to his left with the piercing blue eyes is Ivan Serko, hetman or leader of the Cossacks. Minor characters aren't identified. All were modeled by friends and students of the artist. The artist attempted to make the weaponry, dress, and accoutrements historically accurate. He worked on the original for over 11 years. Except for the writer, possibly a monk, the men all sport shaved heads with a forelak or chub, a traditional Ukrainian style since the Middle Ages. One man wears a papovka. The height and weight of this barrel-shaped sheep's wool hat prevents the wearer from bowing. It is said one wears the papovka not for warmth but for honor. And check out the weaponry. Sure, they had muskets with the accompanying fancy powder horns and cartridge powder pouches, but the lightweight swords, shashka, they carried were equally deadly. The musical instrument pictured is a bandurka, a type of lute. Evidently, Cossacks had downtime. Missing in our picture, but included in Repin's second painting, which he attempted to make even more historically accurate, are the kwama, the fighting knife, and the kinjal, the dagger, no fully equipped Cossack would be without. Wow, what a lot to look at. Enjoy all this marvelous painting has to offer, but don't neglect to check out the contemporary photos from another Ukrainian artist that are displayed nearby. There are some interesting contrasts and some similarities to be made. Thanks for visiting.